I need you to be honest. Are you here watching reviews because you're interested in buying one of these MicroPrism scopes from Primary Arms? Or are you here because you already bought one and you're just looking for more reasons to feel good about your purchase? So, small confession, I've totally done that. I've bought many things and then went on YouTube immediately after to go watch other people use it and seeing just how cool the piece of gear I bought is. And that's not sarcasm either. I've actually done that. So comment down below if you ever done that. So welcome to Country Mash, guys. I do have the Primary Arms MicroPrism scope. This is the one powered MicroPrism scope. I have this guy. This is the Cyclops. And I also have the 9mm version, the Gemini, as well on my PSA AKV. If you guys, I just released the AKV review, so I'm sure you've seen the optic on there. Before I get into the review, I do want to let you guys know that I am affiliated with Primary Arms. So they did provide the optics and ammo for testing. But I'm also affiliated with a bunch of other companies that offer optics and scopes. So it doesn't really matter. I've become accustomed to Primary Arms ACSS optics. I really like that reticle system. So it's typically why I do a lot of their optic reviews. So for today's review, we're going over some specs and details, and I'll share some crispy B-roll while I read off some of those stats for you guys. And then I'm going to share with you guys some pros and cons that are more so my personal opinion. And then I'm just going to share my overall experiences that I've had with both of these samples that were sent to me. So without further ado, before we get into specs and details, I should actually note, if you guys are interested in either of these optics or maybe just some of the cool stuff you see on any of the setups, I'm going to throw some links down in the description box, and you guys just feel free to go down there and use those links, and it just kind of, helps the channel out because I get some credit for it. So if you guys are interested in that, go down below. Now let's jump into some of those specs and details. So this is Primary Arms' new one-powered MicroPrism scope. The Prism scope everyone has been raving about lately, and yes, it is pretty micro. It is about the same size as a typical micro red dot. So that's kind of what sets it apart from a lot of other Prism scopes. The mount that it comes with is not a quick detach mount. However, it is incredibly strong, utilizes the compact ACOG footprint, and it comes with several different spacers for different height options. The turret adjustments are 1 MOA, which is a little crude, but it is a one-powered optic, so it's not a huge deal. You will also see that the turrets are external and they are recessed, making them more accessible than cap turrets while still keeping them protected. On my scale, the weight of the optic is about 7 ounces with the low mount and about 7.6 ounces with a high mount. And that's pretty lightweight. They do have a IP67 waterproof rating, which means it can be fully submerged in water up to 1 meter deep for a half hour. It is illuminated with 13 brightness settings, 3 of which work with night vision, and it runs off of your standard CR2032 battery. The brightness is what a lot of people would consider to be daylight bright on the 13th setting. The battery is estimated to last about 29,000 hours, which is roughly 3 years, but it can last even longer than that since it has auto live technology, which turns off the illumination when the optic is not in use or does not sense any movement. And the current price as of right now for either of these reticle options is $269.99, making it a very affordable optic. Now, there's a lot of other great videos out there who've already gone into detail going over the reticles in these optics, the Gemini and the Cyclops. So I'm just going to share kind of a brief overview. They both utilize the bold horseshoe, which is great for fast and close range shooting. They both have bullet drop compensators, though be it the 9mm is obviously not as far, but they both have bullet drop compensators which allow you to shoot at further distances, without having to dial or anything. And they both have range estimators, which they use brackets, which it will estimate the range of targets that are either 5 feet 10 inches tall or targets that are 18 inches wide. So it's definitely more of a combat style range estimator, but there is a lot of targets, and there's just a lot of things in the world that do follow suit around those measurements. So pretty cool. The ACSS reticles, it makes shooting so easy without having to do any of the math yourself. So that brings us to the pros and cons. First one being obviously ACSS reticle. It does make this optic super versatile and a lot more usable than your standard like 2 MOA red dot. Another thing is going to be size and weight. This is such a small package. You know, it's the size of a micro red dot. However, you're getting so much more by it being that simple prism design. It's an inherent, reliable, and durable design. You don't need electronics, though it is illuminated. It does work without being illuminated. So you have that etched reticle that's always there. And then the fact that it is an etched reticle with illumination, if you have astigmatism, or if you're just, maybe you don't know if you have astigmatism, but you've just had trouble looking through red dots and getting a clear sight picture, and you just always get this fuzzy, blurry dot, this is going to be perfect for you. It has a diopter that you can adjust, and this will work for a bigger range of people than red dots will. And the biggest pro that kind of ties all that in is the price point. You get this really durable, reliable optic that's extremely versatile. You could take this out to some pretty long ranges for an AR and for a 1-powered optic and make consistent hits, yet you're also able to use this for close ranges really fast. So the price point, sub $300, you get all this. It's just really hard to beat value-wise. So that said, I do want to share some cons with you guys. In my opinion, the glass is not as clear as the Gen 1 Cyclops. So some of you guys may have never seen through one of those, but this has good glass. But if you were to look at them side by side, the Gen 1 Cyclops does have a little bit clearer glass. It's not a huge knock on this one, but I did want to point that out and share that with you guys. And the only other con I could honestly really think of is if you don't have astigmatism and red dots do work really well for you and you can see a clear picture, they will have a little bit better sight picture, and they have that edge when it comes to speed and just getting a faster, clearer sight picture. If you're really someone who hasn't experienced either like a red dot or one of these, and you're on here watching these reviews trying to figure out which route you should go, I would suggest go to a gun shop who sells these. Maybe if you have some friends who own some, and try to look through them. At the very least, just try to look through them and see which one you're gonna like better, because they are different. I don't want to say one is better than the other, but they are different. And as for my overall experience with both of these optics, whether it be this one or the one on my AKV, I'm going to be blunt here. I have thousands of rounds through both of them collectively, and I haven't had a single problem. So, I mean, there it is. Is this the greatest and best optic of all time? No. Is it incredible for its price point? Absolutely. It's really held up well. It is a tough and durable optic. And I would actually venture to say this is even still considered an excellent option if you did compare it to some other more expensive optic and options out there. But again, it's just another option and another tool to have in your tool bag. So, not a whole lot more I could say there. Clearly it's a 1-powered optic, so if you're looking to do like medium to long range stuff often, I wouldn't recommend it. But you know, for a home defense option or maybe a SHTF setup, if you're trying to build something more that's, you know, doesn't require batteries, this would be a really good option for that. And it's just a good option. I did a truck gun video a while back with that setup had the Gen 1 Cyclops, and I mean, I would definitely use this as a truck gun optic because it doesn't require batteries. So that's about it, guys. That wraps up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and got some value out of it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel. You guys seriously rock. And do you guys want to know what's on here? This is a semi-new AR I got going. I don't know if anyone has picked up this little collar right here. That is actually a toolless adjustable gas block from a company called Rifle Speed. So I've been testing this out for a little bit, and it's actually really freaking sweet. So there will be a full review on that coming up soon, as well as I might do like a general video on some adjustable gas blocks, maybe compare it to like a superlative arms or something like that. So yeah, this is my 11.5 inch. This is the Geisley Federal Mark IV. It's the OD green. Rex Silentium MGX9. Got that from a place in Boise, Idaho called Stockpile Defense. Super cool guys over there. They're the ones who really educated me a lot on suppressors and kind of leaned me towards the Rex Silentium. So it's a pretty cool little setup. But yeah, if you guys are interested in any of that, I'll do my best to put some links down below. And like I said, that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.